Yes, welcome all of my friends to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but you can call me Black Sajak, and across from me as always, my man of white is Captain Philip New Year Restisher. How are you?
God save the Queen.
I know what you're doing. Right after, you're not even commenting on all my shtick up front. You're going right into it, and I love it, and I love you for it.
I love you too, man. How was your New Year's?
Oh, dude, I'm recovering still. It was a great time, you know? You get out, you party a little bit, you go back home, you take a nap.
Well,
Nothing happens in between, and you wake up.
you gonna ask me how my New Year's went?
Of course, buddy. You seem kind of out of it. I was doing shtick. I'm super with it. But how was your New Year's?
Well, now I spent my New Year's Eve at the Moose Lodge because I am officially a member of the Moose Lodge.
And what in the world could that possibly mean?
Means there's a place you can go to get drunk and eat food and do some charitable work.
Okay. So, I mean, what does it mean to be in the Order of the Moose?
The mooses? I don't know.
I hate these mooses. Two pieces.
Ooh, I don't think it has much to do as it used to. Like there used to be, I'm sure there used to be it was difficult to get in. Now you just pay the money and then you can just go drink cheap and eat fried chicken.
Okay, let me guess. This is some sort of hall.
Yes.
And there's a lot of wood paneling.
Yes.
And it's in the bar area. It's dim.
Sure, yeah, and it's aged.
And you have like domestics. You got like Natty Lights for $1.50 or Bush for like maybe $2.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know the prices. Yeah. I just got ripped. I don't know the prices yet.
So what made you decide to do that? The lack of charitable work?
Yeah, no. Well,
so next week I think my nickname for you has something to do with charitable work, so that's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
We know some people that are members of the Moose. And they said, "Hey, you should join." And I'm kind of like going, but now I'm like, well, no.
Do you get like a pin or something?
I don't know. Maybe I get a moose hat, like on the Flintstones. They had the buffalo.
Oh yeah, the water buffalo.
Water buffalo hat. Yeah. But I also have another problem. I know we got a lot to talk about.
Oh sure, yeah, we do.
But before we discuss season 17,
can you believe it's been this long?
I cannot believe it.
Oh my god,
I got a problem.
Oh. Is it? We talked about a couple weeks ago when Amanda was here. Is it diarrhea?
No. I mean, that's the typical problem every day.
It's one constant problem. It would be fruitless to complain about it week after week.
Right. I have a skin tag on the shaft of my penis. This is no shtick right here. I'll show it to you if you want.
No. Your word is your bond, my friend. You tell me you have a skin tag on your penis, goddammit, I'm going to believe it every time.
But I don't know what to do. Do I cut it? Do I try to whack it off myself?
Well, who usually whacks you off? You have someone to do that all the time?
Yeah.
God, you lucky duck. Oh, to be married.
And to be in the Moose Lodge.
I think what you do is you go into a grade school. Stay with me. You go to a supply closet. Hold on a second. Let me finish. And you find the stack of the old projectors. Just give me a second. And you look right to like the shelf right below it. Come on, just give me one moment. Let me finish. And then you find like a paper cutter, and then you do it with that.
Yeah.
You do it with a wiffle ball bat. So,
I think I'm going to do it with a razor from a brandy razor from a razor blade.
I don't know, man.
Pull up on it and whack it.
Aren't there like
membranes?
Like you're pulling a mole out of the ground or out of your basement?
Right.
What about? Aren't there like cans of frozen?
There is stuff. I did see that. I think about it, but I'm afraid to freeze my penis.
Oh, I hear you, buddy. I mean, growing up when you were young, then it felt good to put your penis in, close like the refrigerator on it.
Right.
You know, the cold and the pressure. I think there's a bit Louis C.K. does about it, but you don't actually want to freeze your penis.
Right. Do you know what I did try to do?
Put it in an ice tray?
No, I tried to pick up, pull on the skin tab and then roll my fingers to try to roll it tight to where it would come off like a dog's tail when they're born. Put a rubber band around. So that's just something I got going on. How are you, man?
No, I don't know that we're done. Okay. So it's what's the difference on your penis if it's like a skin tag or like a genital wart?
Right. I mean, yeah, that was what I was worried about first, but it's a skin tag. It's not any kind of venereal disease.
Can we name this episode Skin Tag You're It?
We sure can.
I'm going to try to find a pilot an unsold pilot that was called Skin Tag You're In.
Well, if not, we can make one. It'll be unsold.
Yeah, no one's buying that shit. Oh my goodness.
So that's just something I got going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of the girls at the Moose or something can help me with it.
Yeah. All right, well.
Hey, $1.25 tacos.
Good luck with that, I guess.
Is $1.25 tacos pretty good? Like, is that a good buy?
I think Taco Tuesday at Taco John's. That Tuesday rolls around, and you're getting tacos for about 70 cents.
Right, but we're talking about a different quality, right? I mean,
I don't
between
know.
the Moose Lodge.
I've never had Moose Lodge tacos before. I feel like I'm in the majority of people.
I think we should do a live show from there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
On a taco day? Is it only one day a week they do it?
The tacos, I think so, yeah. And then there's fried chicken one night. And
So this it almost sounds like you're adopting an entirely new lifestyle with this initiation into the Moose Lodge.
yeah, lodge number 916.
Wow. Great number.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you hinted at it before with your accent at the top of the show. You mentioned it's 17th season.
Yeah.
We've had some themed seasons as of late.
Yeah.
We had last season it was all guests, and one or two seasons before that it was all cartoons. Right.
Yeah.
And we've done before, which is we stay in one decade. It's been fairly formulaic for a while. But we've had these little pockets, and this season we're doing all pilots from the UK.
Yeah.
But there's a special reason.
Yay.
What's that?
I said, yay.
Hold on. Are you trying to act
Hey,
excited?
Chris, take your headphones off. What?
Are you trying to act excited?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm looking at you, and if anyone was to look at you, they'd be like, "Oh, he's not excited." But I'm hearing it too that you're not excited.
Oh, okay.
Let's try. So this season, 17th season, we're just doing all pilots from the UK.
Hey, yeah, buddy. Ow! Boogity, 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 let's go racing.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Tell us what he's won.
Like every frequent flyer point, probably.
Yeah.
Chris Tuckley, a devoted individual from across the pond, and he said, not only am I caught up after finding out your show about a year or so ago, maybe a year and some change, I'm caught up on every episode you've done, but I've found a ton of pilots for you guys to look into, and he's given us 10. 10, that's a full season for us. We said, you know what? Kentucky Fried Fuck It, we're going to do it in one whole season.
Yeah, we're doing it live, just like Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
Get it? 10?
Yeah. You look like you delivered a joke and you just look like what? What am I doing?
Because it was bad.
It was fine.
Anyway, yeah. So
believe in your jokes,
right?
Believe them. You know what? When I said Mountain Dew all those years ago, my face was excited. I knew that I thought I had cracked open something incredible, and obviously I didn't.
Right.
But
right.
I had the confidence going into it.
That's good. You gotta have confidence. Confidence equals success. Yeah. So Chris and I, good friends, but there is a stigmatism that Chris says that I have toward the BBC.
And I have a stigmatism on the shaft of my penis.
It's not funny. It's not funny because I can't. I'm afraid to use that.
This is supposed to be like a comedy show, right?
I'm afraid to use that hand jive thing because I'm afraid it's gonna pull on her or something.
Did we talk about that on here?
I don't think we did on here.
Well, I think we
can't. We have too much stuff to do.
Oh, okay.
And then next week we can't either.
Google hand jive, folks at home. Yeah, born to hand jive.
Just like in Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris has given us 10. I'm sure they're going to be wonderful pilots.
Well, it's a weird kind of thing because, I don't know if I explained this on the last episode. We had Josh on. Well, that was a while ago.
It was that was on New Year's Day.
Okay, so this is last week's episode.
Right.
And I gave Josh a huge list. He's a good friend of mine for many years. We talked about it. I said, here's the list of pilots. Why don't you just choose one? You're the guest. You choose one. And he chose one of Chris's that I already knew about that was on my list. And so I'm including that in the Tuckley 10, as it'll be known from now on.
Oh, the Tuckley 10.
And so we were kind of overlapping the season in a weird way. I'm going to try to find another one. So the entirety of season 17 will be the UK shows. But in itself, it'll be 11 shows altogether.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we did Sherlock last week, which was a Tuckley suggestion. And also the pick from my friend Josh. But now we've got starting now is the official 10.
Yeah, and congratulations from season 17. That's amazing.
That's a mile marker for sure.
So that's 171. No, it's 161.
We're at 162 right
162.
now.
Yeah.
The first season was wonky. We should have made that episode 0.
Yeah, we should have. We could have.
It's over.
We would have.
We would have never thought we'd be this far in it.
Right. We're lucky we had the idea to even put them in seasons.
And you're right. We're lucky about that, and I think we're even maybe a little bit more lucky in that we've got some incredible fan feedback.
We have tons of fan feedback. We actually have so much that we've compiled because our last few guests have talked so much.
We've got a couple of great. Like actual gifts received.
Oh yeah,
and we've got like 3 voicemails. I think we'll have to space some of this shit out. I think, right?
Yeah, I don't know of any voicemails, but 3. That'd be nice. But
oh, we don't? Okay.
No.
Well, Hoover gave us one like a month ago. We've never listened to.
God damn it. I'm sorry, Hoover.
I'm going to look it up right here on my end. But if you have some fan feedback that you'd like to get into, by all means, please.
This is actually from Chris Tuckley.
Okay.
All right. And that's with a L-E-Y, folks, just so you know. Blake, I thought we'd turned things around in your attitude toward British television. Then I heard the incredible Robert Baldick episode. What can I say? I think you need some kind of deep dive into our TV culture, maybe a whole season of Couch Pilots dedicated to one-off television shows that have come out of the UK over the years. I did watch Bobby Baldick and realized that I've been to the haunted ruins that are featured in it. Honmund Abbey.
It's actually been there. That's funny.
I said pictures here. But at no point did I get beaten to death or covered in cobwebs. I've also been on the steam railway that operates nearby. It's about 40 minutes by car from where I grew up. I really have done bad at what I have not deleted and what I have deleted. Mm-hmm. Here's one from DD. About the flood.
Okay.
Yeah. It says, "Is that the Couch Pilots Lounge again, dude? I will swap some weather with you. We have brush fires here at the moment. At 2 a.m. this morning, it was still 24 degrees Celsius with very gusty hot winds."
24 degrees Celsius, I believe, is about 130 degrees Fahrenheit.
Are you serious? Okay. But by the end of the week, we should have our first cyclone of the season.
Cyclone!
Yeah, to down under weather. Yeah, and I also wanted to mention the Christmas present I got. Should I do that?
Sure, yeah.
About 3 or 4 days before Christmas, I pull up in the driveway after a long, hard day of work, and I see a package.
Right.
And I look at the package; it has my name on it, and then it says,
"Great start."
Yeah, the return address says Mold-O-Rama Incorporated.
Do you still have the box?
It's upstairs. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
And I was like, I know what this is, but where did it come from? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I was like, man, that Jason, he is such a good friend. I mean,
right.
He took the time to get me this present because he knew we had talked about the Moldoramas at Brookfield Zoo. And I was like, this guy is great. And so I was excited. And I opened it up.
What can I say?
And there's a piece of paper on top of all of it.
Sure, yeah.
It said, Merry Christmas, Dee Dee.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, what the hell? I was like, that's awesome. Because you imagine if you lived in the United States.
Do I have to close my eyes?
No.
Okay.
If you lived in the United States.
Sure. I do.
Yes. So you're imagining right on.
Easy to imagine.
And there was a company in Australia that you wanted to order something from. How much of a pain in the ass would that be?
I would imagine you'd have to make the call 3 days in advance to talk to someone today.
Right. And then the currency thing is probably weird too because they have yen or something.
They deal in yen or rupees, something of that nature. Yeah.
Rupees. Uh-huh. Yeah. So and then. So Dee Dee had contacted the main Moldorama Corporation and sent me, there was a Santa Claus, there was a dolphin, there was, what I have found out is an alligator.
Sure. I could see that from the picture you sent me.
I thought it was a dinosaur.
I know you did.
Some kind of reptile dinosaur.
Reptiles by dinosaur.
And then a gorilla, of course, which is the like the top line.
And you immediately said, "I'm taking this," even though I was the one who brought it up, and that's fine. That's fine. Whatever.
So
I've already vented to my daughter about it.
Thank you very much, Dee Dee. I appreciate it.
That was awesome.
It was an amazing gift.
That is so cool.
So and I was like, oh, this is the best gift I've ever gotten, because it really is. It really is one of the best gifts I've ever gotten for Christmas. And my wife just kind of kept looking at me like, I've given you pretty cool gifts. I was like, you didn't go to this much trouble.
Well, hold on a second. Did you have the skin tag at that time?
Yes, I discovered it around that time.
Did you try, because you were crying, right, when you got the present?
Yes.
Did you get any tears on the shaft? That maybe clear it up.
I could. I'll try it.
Try crying on your penis.
Oh, believe me. You know what? I would cry on my penis every time if I wasn't laying down.
Every time you masturbate, you cry. So you're laying flat on your back, and it just pools around your eyes like you're underwater.
And it goes out the sides, and then that's why I have trouble hearing.
Because of your masturbatory tear?
Yeah.
You got Jacker's ear? Is that what you got?
Yeah, I got Jacker's ear. A lot of coal miners get that too.
Yeah, they do. Get Jacker's lung. Oh my God, we are funny. And God damn it, we are funny, huh?
You know what?
Really funny.
We're so funny, and we're consistently funny. And we have to give a shout out to Kevin Clark.
Oh
Kevin
my God.
Clark.
This is incredible too.
Who donated a large sum of undisclosed money to our Patreon page. And I have to go into our Patreon page and see what we owe him, because that's like top tier.
Yeah, I think we seriously, I think we owe him like a personal episode.
Yeah.
Where we record
sure.
something just for him.
So,
incredible. So what a week for Couch Pilots.
Yes,
what a cavalcade of gifts.
And the giving holiday spirit, we appreciate it. So hopefully we gave back on the episodes that we were not in our actual studio.
Sure. Oh, incredible. I have some information from Chris. Do you want me to read that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Chris would send me emails from time to time, and I'll get back to him. But there's a period where I didn't get back to him for a while, and I finally looked through everything he sent, compiled all of his suggestions for shows, got him ready, got his notes on each episode. I got it all figured out, and then I sent him back. I said, this is what we're going to do. Try to get him a plan. He says, Dear Jason and Blake, wow, this has been quite the Couch Pilots week for me. Not only have I caught up with you, I have received the stunning news of the upcoming UK TV season. And just last night, I listened to the episode on The City. You remember that with Don Johnson?
In the city.
He says, it's destined to go down in history as one of the greatest episodes of Couch Pilots ever. We had Matt on that one, I believe, right?
Yeah.
He says, there's no need to send me any sort of thank you. I asked him if he had like a P.O. box or something. We could send him something for everything he's done. Although I appreciate the offer.
And he sent us a Christmas card, too.
Yeah.
And so thank you very much. I don't know if
I think we mentioned the last one.
All right.
Open that up.
Oh, I ate the paper.
Oh, that's right. Big mistake bringing that up. It is I who thank you for your dedication to the podcasting cause and for keeping me solidly amused for more than a year of travel to and from work. In fact, although I have caught up, I have a confession to make. I have never listened to season 1. I think I jumped in with the Action Family episode, so now I have to go back to the very beginning, not only in my mind, but with my ears. Back to a time before the burping began, to a time before Laurie Garcia, Dee Dee, and the Australian connection, before Courtney Cox and Band-Aids, and there was no President Trump and no Brexit, when we were all a little bit younger and that bit more innocent, and before Blake's health fell off a cliff ledge. I have no doubt that a treasure trove of wisdom awaits me. He says, I've been thinking about what makes a great episode of Couch Pilots for me, and I humbly offer these reflections for your consideration. First, I'm not a fan of the 10-minute time limit on discussion of the pilot content. Your listeners, well, this listener at least, wants to hear your thoughts on what you've seen. Part of the magic of Couch Pilot is your skill, Jason, thank you, at wittily evoking scenes and moments from the pilot. I've only watched a handful of the pilots themselves, and I feel that I've experienced them already after hearing you. Combined this with the X factor of Blake's input, there's no knowing what he'll come up with. He is the philosopher's stone of Couch Pilots, the vital ingredient wrapped in a mystery that produces the gold from the base metal of awful TV.
Oh,
what a wordsmith!
The sweetest thing I've ever said to me.
You're done, right? Like, this is the sweetest thing you've ever heard. You get the best Christmas present ever from Dee Dee.
Yeah,
this is it for you.
I will finally be able to die.
But what was it that made The City such a good episode? Yes, Blake singing country and western songs by Jimmy Dean Sausage was part of it. Yes, Jason's call to the pyramid scheme lady was a part of it. I've never witnessed such consummate deception delivered with the icy precision of a Cold War spy. But a big part of it came from the enjoyment of all the content. You all enjoyed the city in one way or another. I appreciate that this isn't given with a TV pilot, but you all found the goodness to extract from your viewing experience, whether appreciating Mark Hamill's performance or the lunacy of the baby punching subplot. I would argue it was the plot.
Oh, yeah.
I would argue that the city's plot was based around someone punching a baby. Finally, credit needs to go to Matt, too. The Jiminy Cricket of the Couch Pilots universe, which is absolutely right. He's always a great contributor, but he has a special role in the cockpit of Air Force One. He provides the boundaries within which you produce some of your best work. I always look forward to his episodes and await with interest his stint as pilot alongside Kevin. My thanks once again for a great 2018. I can't wait to see what 2019 will bring. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Chris.
Oh, that's awesome. And, technically this is the, he hasn't listened to season 1, and I do believe Matt was his first episode was on season 1, where the Swamp Man thing.
Yes,
Swamp Monster.
I can't remember exactly what that was called, but yeah, it was like a 1970s kind of supernatural-esque thriller.
Yeah. So go back.
Go back and check them out. Yeah, you will see the evolution of what has happened to us and the
Right.
kind of the decline, the de-evolution of our mindsets. Perhaps.
Sure.
But yeah, what a great start to a great season. That kind of sets the tone.
He is a poet.
He really is. He's a better writer than both of us combined, for sure. It's pretty incredible.
He's probably better at sex than both of us combined.
I don't know about that.
We'll call his wife next episode.
Yeah, let's call his wife. There's something I wanted to mention. Matt is. He says he calls him the Jiminy Cricket, which is kind of the conscience, I think is what he's saying. And he's not wrong, because I always say that limits provoke creativity, and Matt provides a series of limits that we have to work around, which to Chris's credit, probably makes us better.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Matt, and thank you, boarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
All right, so that letter I read from Chris, it kind of sets the tone for the season. But I also mentioned in there that I have accumulated all of his notes on each link that he has sent. So for every episode going forward this season, I have a little bit of information from Chris when he sent that particular link.
Okay, is there a specific time to show you where you're going to do that part?
Right now.
Okay, so I'll sing the segue, but you kind of segue into the segment, and I'll sing the segue.
What is there? Do I know what you're going to do? All right.
Well, you just say what you just said.
Now it's time for a letter about this episode from Chris Tuckley.
It's the Tuckley 10, the Tuckley 10. Everybody's got time for the Tuckley 10.
Yeah, okay. Good.
It's kind of a rough draft. It's kind of a demo.
Dear Blake and Jason, again, this is from Chris Tuckley, says, as our two great nations prepare to join hands across the ocean with the nuptials of Prince Harry and the Beatrice, I don't know, I've heard that word before, Princess Meghan, I am seizing yet another chance in my attempts to gain Couch Pilot's superfan status and to win back Blake's favor for my country in its Brexit hour of need. In the spirit of the royal celebration, I humbly offer the following, a one-off TV event from 1987 screened in different versions in both the UK and the US. Both of you, Jason and Blake, have expressed puzzlement around Britain's need for a royal family. It's my belief that this TV show will show you exactly why we have one, and will frankly make you wonder how other countries get by. Sends a few links. Your loyal retainer, Chris. So a little information there, a little Chris spin on what we're doing. But yes, today we discussed the pilot episode of the Grand Knockout Tournament from the year of our Lord 1900 at 87. Great year.
1987. When somebody says 1987,
Yeah.
you just think, man, you think of
Yes.
how awesome that year was.
Oh, yeah.
I was 12 years old, man.
Hell yeah. I was 6.
Yeah.
Half your age.
It's probably the best part of our lives right now. Oh, yeah, this is the only time you were ever half my age.
Yep, and 1987 rolls around, that's it.
We had the bicentennial that year.
Oh, God.
And I think
Great time to be alive.
Yeah, I think the Pittsburgh Pirates won a World Series, maybe.
Perhaps, yeah. But there are other things that happened that year, too. Other things that will take us back to 1987, because physically, obviously, we can't go there.
What do we got time machines like Doctor Who?
Right? We don't have time machines.
That's craziness.
That's crazy. So we have to go back there
In our minds.
And we do so by talking about things that happened in 1987. Such as, I don't know if you've ever heard this thing before. It's called the Full House. It debuted on ABC. You hear that show?
Yeah. What's the real tall guy's name? Pat Sajak?
Bob Sajak.
Bob
Saget.
Saget. And I didn't know this back then, but he's like a foul-mouthed comic. He's like really filthy and like.
Yeah, I think I knew that late 90s-ish. I knew that he was a dirty cop. Like, he would hang out with, like, Rodney Dangerfield.
Sure.
The dude would get into some shit. Like, he was on one of those, like, young comedian specials, like, in the early to mid-80s.
Yeah.
For, like, HBO, and he was...
Dirty.
He's a dirty dude, yeah.
Yeah. I saw him recently on the Mike Bump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched all those, too. Those were pretty good. I don't really like Jeff Ross too much.
And I don't really like.
You don't like Attell?
Not really.
I like Attell.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I'm not into Rothschild. So, but yeah,
Jeffrey Rothschild?
yeah, Full House, great show.
Popular television show debuted on ABC during September. Started, all the people that started it. It revolved around a father raising his 3 daughters with the help of his friends and family in the wake of the unexpected death of his wife.
And didn't she die in the earthquake of the San Francisco?
Yeah, she was at
Oakland Coliseum.
Yeah, she was at that baseball game, and
Yeah.
I think what it was a pillar fell on her.
Right.
And on the unreleased pilot, it shows her being crushed.
Right.
It's very graphic.
Sure, they cut that out.
Yeah. So the next thing on the list, I was a big Full House fan.
Sure.
But I watched every episode of that. Something else happened in '87 though was Fiji becomes a republic.
Oh, and I think they became a republic because they had come up with enough money from the water that they were selling.
Yeah, and just as a to pay homage, I guess, to Fiji, I will go ahead and play their national anthem real quick. The Dominion of Fiji proclaims itself as a republic during October. Leading up to the proclamation, Fiji experienced 2 coups, and it was run.
Cuckoo-ca-choo.
I love that. Paul Simon's the best. It was run by a military government from May until October. Fiji became independent from Great Britain in 1970. Sorry, Chris. But Queen Elizabeth II was still the head of state until the establishment of a fully independent republic. Fiji enjoyed full independence for the first time since 1874, when it had become a British colony.
Great.
What do you think about Fiji water?
I had never drank Fiji water, but I do know that I'm about ready to throw that phone of yours.
Why is that?
Because we have 75 emails from YouTube because you play these songs while you're talking.
But we're not on YouTube, are we? Do you post everything on YouTube?
Yeah, everything goes to YouTube.
Oh, but we're talking over it, so it doesn't really do anything, right?
Well, I've got the YouTube emails to prove it, saying that we're infringing on copyright.
Oh no, I know. I saw the emails too. But like, what does that really affect us?
No.
Okay, so you're not really mad.
No.
You're kind of mad.
No, it's annoying.
All right. Well, it's fine. Guess I'll just turn it off then. I thought I'd pay homage to Fiji. Anyway, the last thing from '87 is the Zeebrugge disaster. I don't know if you remember this little.
Oh, it's when that little girl fell out on the sidewalk. She got the bruised.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember some celebrities came together to make a song for her. Did you remember that?
No, I don't remember that song.
Yeah. It's you know what? No, it's something else. It was a cross-channel ferry that capsized outside the harbor in Belgium, killing 193 passengers.
Jeez, that'd be a horrible way to die, don't you think? Because it's not instant.
Oh, you just mean drowning?
Yeah, just drowning.
They say it's a peaceful way to go. Like it's
Euphoric?
yes. I don't want to die like that. How do you want to die?
Huh? I just want to die in my sleep.
I don't want to die in a disaster.
No, I just want to die in my sleep. I just want to not wake up one day.
Yeah.
Massive heart attack while I'm sleeping.
Or maybe drown yourself with your tears.
The acid from my tears goes through my ear canal into my brain.
Yeah.
And I have a aneurysm.
My grandma died from that. I don't like that kind of talk. Oh my god. All right, so I'm back there in my mind. How about you?
I sure am.
Oh, it's too easy, man. You make it too easy for me. I don't know why you do that.
Do you have a cold? Have you been fighting a cold?
Sure.
God, you sound sexy as fuck, though.
Tell me about it.
You do.
It's working for me.
Yeah.
So why did we choose to watch? I'm going to play that song again, I think.
No, you.
The Grand Knockout Tournament.
There's 4 pillars. First of all, season 17, the first pillar is that Chris Tuckley sent the link to us.
Yep.
Second pillar is it was a one and done pilot that never went to series. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Fama Slamagluben. All right.
Give it to me, baby. I gotta play that song.
The third one would be that we could find it on the internet.
Sure.
And the fourth one would be that it was free.
Hell yeah. So you're probably asking yourself, where can I find the entire episode of the Grand Knockout Tournament? We could do so by subscribing to Couch Pilots on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice.
Good. You're doing great. Do it for Chris.
And then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube.
And you know what to do, too.
Flight attendants.
It's funny.
Prepare for takeoff.
It's funny because it's true. People do know what to do.
Right.
Too. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of instinctual.
I agree with that. That's fair.
Dee Dee also sent me a video on Facebook of this family of gorillas crossing the street from one side of the jungle to the other side of the jungle, and there was a paved road, and about 150 yards up there was a truck that was stopped, and there was obviously some kind of like militia, and the big silverback comes out first, stands in the middle of the street, and all the babies and all the moms and all the grandmas go by, and then he goes in after all of them.
Stands guard.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. What do you think would happen? Say the truck's like, man, funk this, and they like hit the gas and go right towards that gorilla. Does the gorilla like jump up in the air?
Yeah.
Does a flip, grabs the top of the vehicle, and then like continues with the flip, but with the truck in its hands and throws it?
Yeah, it's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think so.
Have you ever seen that movie where the gorilla
Gorilla flip?
gorilla flip? You ever seen Donkey Kong? Did you ever see the movie where the gorilla climbs up on the Empire State Building? That's what would happen.
That's Mighty Joe Young. I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah.
Meet Joe Black.
Ooh, yeah, Mighty Joe Black. A young Joe Black was in that movie.
Tenacious D guy.
Ooh, I love that. Ooh, yeah.
And D stands for D's nuts.
Oh, no, you didn't. Interesting facts.
Interesting Facts is a segment of the show where Jason scours the internet, finds facts about this pilot that you may not know. Chris probably knows, but you may not know, all other listeners. And he's going to discuss them with us. It's just the name of the segment.
That's all it is, folks.
So what we'd ask you to do is to not taint anyone else's experience by sharing your thoughts on it. Just accept it for what it is. It's a fact.
Yep.
It's a fact. There's nothing else you can do to change it, so don't talk about it. So we like to say, in short, guys,
Come on.
just don't do it.
Come on, don't do it.
Just don't do it.
We hindsight being 2020, we probably could have named the segment something different to clear up some confusion.
Sure.
Like, it could have been uninteresting facts.
Okay. Or tainted facts.
Or not facts. These aren't facts.
Sure. Or stuff you might want to know.
It could be literally anything.
But we called it interesting facts,
And
and once it's set in stone.
Just don't do it. A one-off charity event that was shown on British television on June 19th, 1987, in addition to airing on American TV via the USA Network on August 12th, also 1987.
Okay.
Fact.
Middle of summer.
Yep, we know what that means, folks. It followed the format of It's a Knockout, the British version of Je suis frontières, a slapstick TV game show which was broadcast in the UK until 1982.
Okay.
Fact. The event was staged on the lakeside lawn of Alton Towers' stately Homecombe theme park.
The castle has a theme park?
Yeah, I think it might have been a theme park in
The
itself.
British family had a theme park?
No, I don't know exactly where this is,
Okay.
where Alton Towers is in relation to like Buckingham Palace. But,
Sure.
However, the event used its own specially created immersing set, meaning that the location was not very recognizable in the TV broadcast. So they used their own set. So I don't know. It was built for this. Although regarded as a failure, a similar show without royal involvement was made the following year at Walt Disney World in Florida, featuring teams of celebrities representing the United Kingdom, USA, and Australia.
Yep.
You know about that?
I remember it.
Fact.
I don't remember the name of it.
Okay. The show was conceived and organized by Prince Edward, who had been keen to develop a career in TV and theater after he left the Royal Marines.
Was that the yellow guy in the yellow?
Yeah, they mentioned at the beginning he was like the producer.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's the guy. Leader of the Yellow Team. The participation of members of the royal family in this charity event sparked outcry from those who felt this was not a dignified venue for them. Fact.
Back to, I mean,
I got thoughts on that.
sure.
But it's a fact.
Right.
My thoughts aren't going to change anything. Originally, Stephen Toast was due to take part, but was replaced at the last minute by musician Eddie Grant.
Bagel.
Stephen Toast and Eddie Bagel?
He was replaced by Eddie Bagel.
I get it. Is it bread?
It's a breakfast. You can put jam on either one.
No. Toast and a bagel.
Interesting facts have got to be over.
Fact. I don't know. Hold on.
I'm on fire tonight.
Oh my god. Toast mentions this in his autobiography and is very disparaging on this subject. Interesting facts over.
Oh, that was good. That was probably one of
Oh Jesus.
when we die in a tragic accident and they
Sure.
take clips from the show.
Yeah.
I think the toasted bagel joke is really gonna work for us.
I think that'll be there. This battery's almost dead. We got to do something with this.
All right.
Twitter responses.
Twitter. Oh. The royal Twitter responses. Jason is going to give us the royal Twitter responses.
We don't have any Twitter responses. I don't know. Should we play a promo for someone?
Nah. We got things to do.
What do you want to do? Do you want to play? Do you want to play like a commercial or something?
Let's just say when what each of have you ever been to the UK? Do you wish to go to the UK? If you could go to the UK, which part of the UK would you go?
Okay, sorry, it's working. I've never been to the UK. I have one surviving grandparent. She is from the UK.
Okay.
I would like to go. ROCK in the UK, I think, was that John Cougar
Sure.
Mellencamp
Yeah.
song. So I'd like to see where he wrote that. I want to go down. I want to go to Downtown Abbey and get like a souvenir pin or something.
Okay. Would you wear shoes when you cross the street in Downtown Abbey?
No, I would probably put on my best white suit though, and like just have my nothing, like have the suit coat but nothing underneath it.
Sure.
What about you? You've never left the country, right? Oh no, you've been out for like you went to some island, right, for a honeymoon?
Yeah, I've been to Mexico and I've been to the Grand Cayman Islands.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been out of the country at all. But
No, I would like to go to UK. What I like best is I can go to like 7 different countries in like 2.5 days.
yeah, they're all right
You know what I
there.
mean? They're all right there next to each other. And
It's maybe like a little over half the size of the U.S., maybe less.
Yeah.
So it's like traveling
we
from
could-
state to state.
yeah, we could bury them in a war.
Oh man, we could squash it, right?
Fuck.
I mean, I know this season's for Chris, and he's in the UK. But we could.
We would totally crush them.
Yeah.
Crush it like Craig. Crush it like Craig. Crush it like Craig. I don't understand this king and queen stuff, though. I would like to talk to Chris about that. Too bad he can't call in. I would like to talk to Chris about this king and queen thing, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that later.
Should I play the dog police video?
No, you should not.
I know the answer to those before I ask them to you. I just
Let's rock and roll. We got. This is an hour and a half pilot that we're only going to have 10 minutes to do.
What do you think about Chris said earlier? He's like, I don't like the 10-minute thing.
Okay, how about 20 minutes?
No, I like the 10-minute thing.
Oh no, I like it too.
You like okay?
I thought you were just trying to be nice to him.
No, not at all. He knows us better than that.
Right.
I think that we're nice.
Folks, if you've been listening to 40 minutes already, and we haven't even talked really about what happened. So we don't have time.
Yeah, you want another 40 minutes of just talking about that? I don't think so.
Yeah, go to
kids.
patreon.com/couchpilots.
Yeah, let your voice be heard there with your money. Time is starting now.
So basically, what we come up with is, let's just give the scenario of the show, which is what we should do, and then we can put in tidbits. This is a show where actual royalty
Yeah.
are the captains of 4 teams.
There's 4 teams.
And basically, this is just like we're gonna do like a decathlon kind of stuff, but they're kind of goofy stuff. And I didn't know this at the time, but you're gonna see a plethora of famous people that some were dead, but they were young, spry, and they could run back then.
This is 30 years ago, over 30 years ago at this point, and they mentioned a few at the top of the show. But as the show goes on, like it's so unorganized.
Yeah.
And it's probably, and we'll get into some of the problems later in Turbulence, but it doesn't, I feel like they should introduce everyone right up front.
Right.
And make it quick. But every part of this show is so drawn out unnecessarily.
Right.
Everything's elongated and slow and tough. But you got these 4 teams, like you said, headed by actual royalty, and they're all dressed in like historical, flamboyant kind of garb.
Medieval garb. Yeah. And they're all playing for charities,
Yes.
which is great. And if I'm not mistaken, the guy, I'm not mistaken to you, the guy that is kind of like the overseer of all of it is the Bean guy.
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson, who is Mr. Bean, and he is playing his character from a very popular UK show around that time called Black Adder.
Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that. And also, if you look very closely, he has a penis shield like no other in this.
Did it have any tags on it?
No, it didn't. But there was a side view of like his crotch area, and it came out like this, and it was like a shield for his penis.
Hell of a cod piece.
It was a cod piece if I had ever heard of one. So basically,
Hal Linden. I believe he was an American who was hosting it. Maybe we saw the American version of this.
Okay, it could be.
I mean, obviously, it was all British people, but Hal Linden is the host. He's a guy like I feel like I've heard of, but I couldn't place him. And he was talking about things in between the events where you have, like you said, Rowan Atkinson kind of officiating the actual event. So
he's the master of ceremonies, I guess.
Hal Linden was more just like on the sidelines, almost like as a commentator.
Yeah. So the first event they had was the call out the guards. And
it's a test of strength, and there was like think about an addition sign, posts into the ground, and people had to get on a side of that post, and they had each team got on one, and they would turn it in a circle. So there's 4 people turning different circles, dragging a huge cannon across the yard.
And the first one to get there and then shoot their cannon won.
The tough part was though they had to jump over the rope each time they're going around.
That was. And I will say this, that there's a lot of these events that I can see would be very physically taxing, and for movie stars and famous people to like sign off to do this, it's pretty gutsy because you could get injured in a lot of these.
You have a mixture of celebrities from like actors, and you also have athletes here. There are athletes who would probably be pretty well suited for some of these activities.
Sure, and singers.
Oh yeah. Tom Jones was up in that mug.
And so was my favorite dinner, meatloaf.
I accidentally, when I was typing, I don't look at what I'm typing as. I look back later, I had accidentally typed in meat load.
We've all had it, right?
What?
So yeah, let's can we talk about? God, there's so much to talk about. The heads of. Do we have the names of like the heads of each of the teams? That's what is important to me.
Okay, so you have let's see, the Duchess of York, which is Fergie.
Okay, and that's the redhead.
Yep, that's the one from the Black Eyed Peas.
Is she still Duchess?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
You have Prince Edward. As we said, he's also the producer.
The younger guy.
He had Christopher Reeve on his team. Fergie had Meat Load and Jane Seymour. He also had Princess Anne, and she had Walter Payton on her team.
Princess Anne.
I don't know.
Okay.
And then, the Duchess.
Who's the Duchess?
The Duchess of York was Fergie. And then you have the Duke of York, who had Margot Kidder, John Travolta, and a fella from Monty Python.
Oh, okay. So who was the other woman, the older woman?
I assume that was...
Not Fergie, but the other one.
Probably Princess Anne.
Princess Anne, this is no shits for her. This is serious shit. This is not...
You don't feel like she was doing shtick?
Oh, I don't feel like she was doing shtick at all. I feel like
every team was cheering at the beginning when they were interviewed. They did a brief thing.
Nope.
Her team was like, we're the strong, silent type.
Right, and they were the first to...
I feel like she was doing shtick because the audience was laughing at when she was saying that.
I don't think she had... That's not in her...
You might be right.
In her babble lick. Like you mentioned...
Would you bobble lick her in Princess Anne?
Baba Booey. Sure, I would. I don't care. There's some dukes...
That's how you get a skin tint.
There's some dukes that are judges, which we never see them again.
Yeah, a lot of like I said, this is really not organized very well.
It is drawn out
It's
very
a huge clusterfuck, if you ask me.
There's a marathon, which is where we see Christopher Reeves with his legs.
I don't think he ever lost his legs. I think he just lost the use of them.
Oh, I thought he lost them. Tom Jones and
Oh man, that'd be terrifying, wouldn't it?
this is the one where they're doing the thing over the water. The pole.
Yeah, there's one called like the marathon is the ASDA marathon. And it's basically you had like a royal table set up, and everyone's look like they're eating food, but they're actually just things they will throw
throwing
at.
foam things at you.
Yeah, the team's dressed up like jesters, and they have to go across this log. And
Jesters, jesters.
what song is that?
It's Pearl Jam.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So and they fall in the water.
Yeah, they're trying to get them to fall off, and why they make their way across. And Tom Jones was there sitting at the royal table eating food.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't understand. There's a thing on here about jokers. They would have shields in each color of the team, and they could put a joker. They could bring out their joker before the event started. I never did figure out what the fuck they were, what it meant.
I don't even remember it. Between all these events, they do interviews with people. Yeah, Hal Linden will talk. At first, he talked to like Kevin Kline. You may recognize him as a popular actor. And they talked to Walter Payton. And I really liked the Walter Payton interview.
Yeah.
It was the interview was slow and boring, but like Walter Payton, like arguably the best player for a year or two in the NFL on those '85 Bears that won the Super Bowl, and he looks like a true class act.
Oh yeah, and he's one of the most charitable. He was one of the most charitable men too while he was alive.
Yep.
And they actually have the Walter Payton Award every year, given to one player in the NFL who does the most charity work.
He didn't look like a thug.
No,
He had a crisp white suit on.
a smile.
And Hal Linden, who was interviewing him, looked like a boner because he had a weird outfit. I mean,
Right.
Walter Payton looks like totally classy, and he was talking about like one day I would love to own an expansion team. Like he didn't speak like slang or street. He spoke like a human being.
Exactly.
He seemed like a really good dude, actually.
Yeah, and this is also where I see that the events are sponsored. This next event was sponsored by McDonald's.
Yep.
It was Knock a King, which
Knock a Night, I think it was.
Knock a Night. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nick at Night. Knock a Nick at Night. And that I was thinking at this point, why didn't the other teams get to do the ASDA log challenge? But that was chopped up, and they would do it.
Yeah,
that
that was chopped up.
I don't get it.
And the score, they would every month they would explain the score, and it still didn't make sense.
Get that
It did not make sense at all.
Here in the Knock a Night, you had to swing a large black bag at standing knights in armor, and wore a mask that took away your vision, and your team captain had to tell you what to do.
Right, and that didn't work very well.
No, I think Walter Payton did the best out of it.
Oh yeah, of course he did.
He got he killed.
He was like, bring it on Atlanta, bring it on Dallas, bring on this big black sandbag palace. To me, this is it's a good part of the show. Like this
the Knock a Night.
The Knock a Night is kind of fun.
Okay,
it's drawn out just like all of it, but it is kind of fun.
The part I found annoying about this part, which I do,
the screaming person.
Yes, it was constant, just yelling left, go
3 o'clock,
right,
3 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
just constant.
My
yelling.
3 o'clock. I was
yeah.
like, that means 6.
Oh, my
dumbass
God.
bitches.
And then they talked briefly about the 4 different charities that they're playing for, and Save the Children is one that the one I noticed the most that they kept talking.
Well, the WWF, which was the World Wildlife Federation. Which
the one team's mascot was the pandas.
Sure.
And then
my panda don't want none unless you got England buns.
Ghost of Alton Tower, which is the next one. There was so much unnecessary setup for this
Right.
one. Oh my God, it took forever. It looked like a hopping relay where ghosts try to tackle you.
Yeah, and they have these humongous, obscenely big costumes on these people. Why they didn't all fall down and break something was impossible to me.
I don't get it. That was done in several heats.
Right.
And then there was another round of log rolling after that.
Another log rolling round. And you said there was some Monty Python guys on here, right?
John Cleese at least was on there. I thought they said someone else.
there was
I
another
can't
one.
remember the other guy's name.
The next event is the Romeo and Juliet competition, which Tom Jones, I was expecting him not to do well. He did fairly well and won his heat.
I don't think it's unusual.
It's not unusual to be loved by a man.
Yeah, I love that guy. My daughter knew that song. We were watching that, and she knew. I started singing that when he came out, so I was like, "That's the guy singing."
That's cool. Kings of the Castle is another game.
Yep.
And where these humongous kings. To me, this was the god dang it.
This actually works out really well for me, and I tell you why. Because it's right here that I stopped watching
Really?
the Grand Knockout.
Oh my gosh, I've got so much more to say.
You know what? Why don't you take a minute or two to get through what you want, and you say whatever you want about it. But I could not watch this. I couldn't watch it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, this is where we see some cheating and some protesting being done. They basically have these big, huge king costumes. People can't see out of them. They run, and they have to get through a little area. We also see John Travolta in a cooking pot contest, which was the most violent of all of them.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, Sherry.
Oh, potatoes and leeks. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and like they were tackling them to get the suits off of them. It was very dangerous.
Yeah, I caught parts of that.
I think that's when Christopher Reeves lost his legs. There was another game. There was another game where they were dressed up in this big thing and they had to go.
Horses? Were they in horses or something?
That was sort of the end. That was kind of cool.
Okay.
But there's another one where they had this big, huge costume, and they had barroom chairs and tables, and like the people were manually moving the planks that those were on, and it was something to do with a drunk guy. And so
Was it?
It was like you had to get through. Okay. Anyway, the final score after the joust, which was pretty neat, the yellow team had 26 points. The red team had 36 points. And of course, they were Save the Children. The green team 29, and the blue team is 24. Hear he, hear he. What do they win, folks? A big bowl, big antique bowl.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
Turbulence.
Turbulence. I smell turbulence.
I can't believe you didn't finish it.
I could
Finish it.
It's not like I ran out of time. I could watch it. Oh my God. This is one where I kept hitting pause and saying, oh, how much time is left? There's an hour left. Oh my God.
Well, see, I had the link that I used was 4 segments, so the show was cut up into 4 segments.
Yeah.
So that helped
That
me.
probably does help when you can see a finish line.
But I started to watch it. My brother was here, and I said, "You're gonna shut your mouth." I said, "I've got to watch this. I don't need you here fucking your comments, you know." And he watched about 10 minutes of it, and he was
I'm out.
very polite. He goes, "I'll see you later. I'm gonna go home." I was like,
Smart guy.
I just gotta put this on every day to get him the fuck out of here.
Why do you keep watching this every time I'm here? I'm watching it for my shoe, child. Why didn't this work?
It was expensive, I'm assuming. It had to have been very
pricey.
Very pricey. All the costumes, because each team didn't have just 4 or 5 people. Each team seemed to have like 20 famous people on their team.
Every new scene, every new game, you were hearing more and more
Yeah.
famous names, and there was costume changes.
Oh, tons of costume changes, and so I could see this as very, very expensive. I know it was a charity thing, and I don't know if they plan on doing it a lot. It was a one-off, you said, but they wanted to do more, obviously, but why would they have spent the money?
Prince Edward was trying to make a name for himself in TV and
And
theater.
it didn't work.
No,
It was very expensive, and it drug along.
I imagine it was maybe a big failure for Prince Edward, because you're right. I bet this was very expensive, and for no one to say,
I'm sure his dad gave him the money, right?
probably so.
Yeah.
This was an
The
hour and a
crowd
half.
seemed really into it.
They did. You know what? Before I crap on it a little bit, I will say that this looks like it would be a hell of a lot of fun to be there and participate.
Sure.
It looks great.
One of the participants
Mm-hmm.
was on stage, or on the main stage in costume, while there was an event going on that she wasn't involved in, and she was eating French fries.
I missed that.
It was awesome.
I think a lot of these things look like fun, but there is a button on a computer called Edit. And what you need to do is edit this down from, there is a 2-hour version of this as well, and it needs to go to 45 minutes.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen here, because we are seeing every little thing. We're seeing every little step in the way. We're seeing long versions of interviews that should be 30 seconds.
Right.
Maybe we're living in a post-SpongeBob ADHD type of world where everything needs to be fast and quick and in your face and MTV-style quick cuts and stuff. But I don't want to see every little thing. I don't want... And for us to see every little thing and still not understand what's going on...
Right. I think it was edited. I think this was a whole day event. It was a whole day event because if you had tickets to this, or if you were, came to see the royal family in action or whatever, you were out there in the cold, misty UK weather all damn day because we saw a lot of shit that wasn't chopped up very well or wasn't chopped at all. But we also didn't see the changeovers when people were having to go backstage and change clothes and stuff. You know what I mean? From getting soaking wet in the water. So,
there are a lot of reasons I think this didn't work. I'm sorry, I just got weird news on text. A friend's dad died.
oh,
Whoops.
jeez.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, yeah. I'll have to take a minute after this, I think. I don't think you want to be mentioned on the show. Anyway, I think way too long, a lot of confusion. You sat through the whole thing. I couldn't even do that.
Right.
And you still didn't, understand the scoring system and the joke. How much time do we need to see of the show to understand everything and have them show us what they want to show us?
Do you think there was partly a language barrier where they were explaining maybe they just cut it up wrong?
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
I don't know. I feel like there's I don't know. There just wasn't a lot of explanation, but we saw a lot.
Right.
It didn't make sense to me. I think if this survived, we're not necessarily seeing the royal family every time, but we're seeing the same kind of fare.
Sure.
We're seeing that same big castle set. We're seeing people dressed up in those types of clothes.
Sure.
And we'd filter different games in and out, and there'd be charities involved.
Yeah, like the Duke of Earl would show up once in a while.
Great song.
Duke Ellington would come on.
What other Dukes? You think?
Duke Snyder.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem. His team would win every time. Bet you didn't think I'd know that, did you, nerd? You damn video gamers.
I'm going to rip off your head and shit down your neck. That's one of his famous lines.
I didn't know.
Because I played the game. What's that?
Huh? I said, boozer?
Okay, that sounds right.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
Oh, boy. Final Descent. We saw this. Other people have seen it, right?
Sure.
We're not the only ones. Internet Movie Database. 1 out of 10. Do you have a guess on what you think people from around the world would have scored the Grand Knockout Tournament?
3.8.
Ooh, you're going to be pissed off. 7.3. And that is from 87 ratings.
And they're all from the UK, I'm sure.
R-O-C-K in the UK.
R-O-C-K in the UK. R-O-C-K in the UK. Yeah. Rockin' in the UK.
Viewer reviews, strange British charity. I too caught this on the USA Network in the late 80s. I believe the Grand Knockout Tournament was held yearly. Not sure if it still is. And I think the USA carried one more installment of this, after which it was never seen again. They might be referring to the one you know about in Florida, Captain. Decidedly one of the oddest charity events ever televised. Not that the charity was odd, but that the games the celebrities played from their respective teams. All in all, it was a lot of fun, very strange, and a lot of British humor is to be expected that way. And since it was all for charity, I say that the grand knocking out commence. So they were for it.
Okay.
What would Queens Victoria and Elizabeth think? This is from the year of our Lord 2000, a review. So I watched the show on USA in 87. The big question I wondered about this is, what would Queen Victoria and Elizabeth II think about members of the royal family dressed up in medieval outfits, leading like dressed celebrities? I bet John Travolta would never do something like this now to play games.
Neither would Christopher Reeve. Am I right?
Ever since he lost his legs and died. A knockout at night for charity. Anyway, Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson, they were married for a year at this point. Princess Anne and Prince Edward captain of their teams, and Brit celebs and some oddball choices. Walter Payton, Meatloaf, etc. A curio back then and a curio now. 8 out of 10, valiant attempt to reach out to the public. Maybe Her Majesty consider a reboot, or if she's shy of this, then perhaps King Charles III, whenever he takes the throne, whenever, can organize a reboot to raise more money for charity. It will help to lighten things up in this post-Brexit world. So that was just a couple years ago.
Sure.
And finally, 5 out of 10, off with his head, says this tournament is won, and Lord Knox states that it is always sad to pick out a winner when we've all behaved in such a consummate absurdity. But let the losers take comfort in the thought that they will never, ever again look so foolish. This is actually correct. Yep. Since 1992, Fergie was seen with a financial advisor who is giving her advice her husband wouldn't approve of, and the presenter of Stuart Hall, one of the hosts of the show. Well, we all know what happened to him and his notoriety. I don't know what happened to him. When a Republican watches a show, and I'm going to get involved with politics.
Yeah. Okay, that's one of the things that we don't talk about.
There are some things we don't talk about.
Yeah, just
Politics.
we don't talk about religion.
Yeah.
And
No
cops.
No cops. Not on this time. Not this time, pal. No cops. Not on this one. Hey, no cops on my watch.
Ladies and
No
gentlemen,
dog
welcome
police
to
either.
Garcia Airport. Local time is 11:11, and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened.
I knew I should have took it off there.
It's fine. Kevin Clark, did he tell you that he couldn't stop listening to that song?
It's funny.
All right.
Dog police. Where are you coming from? Dog. It's catchy.
Kind of catchy.
It's catchy.
Yeah. Now we
Like
rate.
skin tags on your penis.
Catchy like a skin tag.
Yeah, this is where we rate. This is where we give our ratings. I mean, you guys can listen to this show every single week, like Chris Tuckley does, like Dee Dee does, like Kevin Clark does, like
Yep.
every one of our fans, thousands of fans nowadays. But there's no point to it unless we give you our ratings. Very simple. Our rating scale is based off the wonderful television show Wings.
Love it.
And so it goes through 1 through 7, a 1 being the worst. That's the Roy Biggins. And 7 being the best, Brian Hackett. So in between there.
Numbers, people,
Letters.
ratings. Yeah.
Ratings.
Yep. Captain Philip Rest, sure I turn to you. How do you rate the Grand Knockout Tournament?
Okay, well, the last episode of season 16, I did say I was going to give a negative bump to every one of these, right?
You did say that.
And then I realized that that's pretty not fair because these are going to be pretty shitty. And so I can't.
All of them by nature are going to be shitty?
I can't go into the negatives on some of these.
Okay.
This was long. I didn't understand the scoring. I felt nostalgic seeing all these famous people before they got to be just disgusting. You know, Meatloaf wasn't even that bad at physical. John Travolta was way before. It was probably like before Grease.
Did you see that cleft chin?
I saw that cleft palate. Tom Jones looked good. Again, Christopher Reeves had his legs.
This over 30 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that was kind of cool. If you had just put just the events on, edited this up and just put the events on, it would have been fun. Some of these events were interesting, and knowing that the royal family did this to appease one of their children, it's amazing. I'm giving this no Brit bump. Okay, I'm not going to take it points away.
Okay, there's
Just straight.
no factor at all.
No factor.
Okay.
I'm going to give this a 4.
Give it a 4. Okay. Yeah, you know, like I said earlier, I think this looks like fun. I would like to be a part of this. This is silliness, and it's a good time. It's for charity too, so
Sure.
everybody wins.
Yeah.
But not like this. Not an hour and a half. Not 2 hours.
So many costumes.
I would go out for a whole day and participate in this. But at home, I'm not going to watch a 2-hour event like this. This is crazy.
It's like Roots. It's about as long as Roots.
It is. And there's a black guy named Toby in there, too, which is odd. I don't know why that's a weird choice to make, but it doesn't make any sense. Why am I seeing so much but understanding so little?
Right.
There are some good opportunities for fun game show action, and they're enough to where you could make it 45 minutes. Right. Have those interviews with the celebrities. Put them in there. That's awesome. Make them shorter. Get a better host. Hal Linden. God damn, it was awful. Those interviews were so awful.
Right.
So boring. They kept Kevin Kline there talking about how his career was dead. Like, it's not that funny.
Right.
Just ask a couple of quick questions and get out of there.
Right.
I don't need 3 minutes of each celebrity. Everything dragged on. There is a good show in here. We didn't see it. They didn't do it. The editor couldn't find it. I give it a 3.
Okay.
And I'm being generous when I say that.
Ooh, wow.
It's nothing to do with the Brit bump or anything like that, but I give it a 3.
Chris, I'm on the good side.
You give it a 4. And with that, we close the book on the Grand Knockout Tournament, and we will never mention that show again.
Forever.
Ever. But join us next time, won't you please, when we watch the pilot episode of the CARIAD show. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. Comedy pilot featuring newcomer CARIAD Lloyd playing a wide range of characters, including the unforgettable Joey, Pam St. Clement, as you've never seen her before, the horrible Cockney Sam, and many more. You can find the entire episode of The CARIAD Show by subscribing to Couch Pilots and SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice. And then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or go to YouTube, and you know what to do too.
I love how you invented that.
Oh, man. I love that you said that. Blake.
What did I say?
That I invented it.
Well, you did. The phrase, you didn't invent YouTube. You invented the phrase.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine? We would get this Air Force One covered. It would be dipped in gold, and it would sink to the bottom of the sea.
It's going to sink again.
Oh, boy. You want to contact us? Sure. What are you doing? You have enough time to listen to us.
Right.
Surely you have enough time to call 910-PILOTS-1, 910-745-6871. Leave us a voicemail. You're going to get frequent flyer points.
Every day, all day, you have to do. This is the only podcast that says, hey, you don't have to do much, and you're still going to get a bunch.
Yeah. Do nothing, get something. What is that? You know what? Do nothing, get something. That is what the show is. Right?
Yeah. CouchPilotsPodcast.com.
Great
That's your
website.
one-stop shop for all of your podcast Couch Pilots needs. You can get all our social medias from there. You can email us from there. You can listen to any episode we've ever done. You can search via date or even cops. And you'll probably find which ones we've done that had the cops involved in it.
Yeah. Dog Police. We did that one.
Dog police, where are you running from? Dog police. Great place to go. Check it out.
Check it out.
Go to work on Monday.
Check it out.
Got yourself a family.
Boy, oh boy. We'll mention Patreon. Obviously, someone's listening because we got a very nice donation, as we mentioned.
Thank you very
earlier
much,
from
by the
Kevin. Yes, thank you to everyone who continues to support us there. Like we always say, what we do is not free.
Sure.
We make it available for free to you. And if you want to help us out a little bit, we super duper appreciate it.
Sure.
We genuinely do. It's awesome that you guys care enough about the show to donate. So thank you so much for that. I know you're not a fan of the UK. I know you want to visit there. But I know when it comes to media, you're not excited. But do you have a message of positivity before we go today?
Sure, I definitely do. Just because there are oceans between you and someone else, there's hemispheres between you and someone else.
Right.
This show proves of the bond of friendship that you can, if you just put a little effort in. If you go and you get a podcast, okay, and you go and you happen to get somebody that listens to it, and you force them to contact the show,
And you name all your segments.
you can change your life and how two people's lives. You can change two people's lives.
It really is, at the end of the day, and like a bizarre twist of being serious, about connecting with people.
Sure.
And we've done that many times, and that's a kind of a reason that we keep doing it. I think.
Definitely.
It's exciting for us. So thank you,
It's
Philip.
not because of all these fucking shows we watch, that's for sure.
Thank you for your message of positivity.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you for being my co-pilot
Thank
for
you.
many, many years.
And thank you and congratulations. We're in 2019, buddy.
Congratulations. And how do you feel not having a guest this episode? You feel good?
I feel good. I feel like
cleansed?
I feel cleansed.
Yeah.
I did really love having all this, but
And you love having Hoover on, too.
yes, I did. I didn't know that he was going to be so sensitive about
He
it.
had a hashtag ouch towards us after
Yeah.
listening to that episode.
But I was just teasing.
I
I thought I made it very clear.
You did, and I think he was just joking. He's a great guest, actually.
I enjoyed having everybody, but I feel like sometimes we just have to get back to just me and you, and just like, we
Back to basics, strip it down.
back to the basics of love.
Let me ask you this.
Hmm.
We have a guest on this episode we just did. Say we had a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ever had made that toast and bagel joke? Right?
Probably not.
Probably wouldn't have come up, right?
Right,
And
so-
I
I get distracted when we have guests on. I get distracted about taking care of them instead of taking care of my listeners and
That's
you.
exactly right.
I can only take care of so many guys at one time.
Yep, can't save everybody. And with that, this pilot may have been rough, but it is always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, let's say that, man.
God save the Queen.
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.